Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Narendra from Pragati. Print and beyond. Opportunities and challenges. Last 3 years, I think we have gone through a lot of messy times. The COVID, the supply chain logistics. Supply chain logistics means actually for people who are not exporting or importing quite a lot, you might not really appreciate what is happening there. We used to export books to Denver, USA at $4,200 per 40-foot container. And last year we had to pay $22,600. That's the kind of difference logistics made in a mess. And really, I'm happy it's coming down. It's still not pre-COVID levels, but much, much lower now. Unprecedented price rise, which all of us know, from 70 rupees, more than 100 rupees for art paper. The war, which celebrated its first anniversary yesterday. And the China lockdown. Actually, when a big storm comes, or some years ago, 10, 15, 20 years ago, the tsunami came. Really, we cannot build anything for tsunami or a 100-year rain, or we cannot plan for that. Similarly, we cannot plan much for COVID either. But unfortunately, all our assumptions are based on what has happened over the last 100 years or 50 years, over a period of time, and we make our assumptions and we make our projections based on that. But unfortunately, the very edifice, very base of our thought process was shaken by COVID. So much so that work from home, it was never even thought about. Now it's a norm. Reading habits. What happened to newspapers? I'm glad that they are back into near normal, but it was really a scary thing. I don't want to touch newspaper. I don't want to get the bug from that. Eating habits, really gone a huge change. Of course, we have all adapted to Zoom, especially. Very happy to adapt it, actually. And some newer ways, some by choice, and some we really did not have any choice. So, really, what can we do in our system? We have to live up to the current situation. And that's what we have to go back into printing, which is our field. Printing industry can be broadly classified into four verticals. One is publications, covering books and newspapers and magazines, directories. Graphics, commercial printing. And transactional and security print, which is your bills and all those things. And packaging. Publications will still grow in India. The print media is 21% of the ad spend, which is 20,000 crores, and it's growing. The digital advertising is 45% and TV is 34%. The interesting fact is that the ad revenue of Facebook and Alphabet is Google, at $171 billion was more than the aggregate revenue of all magazines, newspapers, radio stations in the world. Okay? Yeah. So newspapers and magazines abroad are facing a problem. So India is still okay, is growing. One of the things which we have to be very, very clear is the generation Z. That means the generation which had internet from their birth till now. So their own thought process, their own way of ordering, thinking, everything will be new, and it will be different for us printers also. Textbook, of course, it will grow at a reasonable pace depending on the population. With industrial production, of course, marketing material also will grow. Transactional security print will be on a growth path. Packaging is growing at a very, very good pace. Some numbers to tell you that is all backed by numbers. India is expected to be the world's 5th largest consumer market by 2025. This is CII's prediction. Globally, packaging industry is the 3rd largest after food and energy. It's about, in 2019 it was $917 billion, now it's crossed $1 trillion. Packaging industry in India, valued at 50 billion in 2019, anticipated to be 2004 by 2025. That means 26% compounded annual growth rate. Sector growth is 22 to 25%. That is Packaging Industry Association of India. Indian per capita consumption, 8.7 kg of packaging material and total material of 13 kilos. Please look at 60 or 70 rupees per kilo of paper into 13, approximately 780 rupees. Divided by dollars, that makes it $10. Multiply by a number of people, 1.4 billion. That becomes $14 billion of raw material itself. Post-conversion, it might be $25 to $30 billion, which makes us nearly as big as the pharma industry. But unfortunately, I must say the president's job also, we don't have data on number of printers in India or the amount of money we are doing. We really don't have the data to tell the government that we are an industry to be proud of. We are an industry, we have not even got an industry status. Very sad, but true. This compares to 109 kg in USA per capita, 65 kilos in Europe, 45 kg in China. But one good thing is, we grew from 4.3 kilos to 8.7 kilos, 100% in the last decade. Again, from SOCHM Ernst & Young study, we grew 18% CAGR from 31 to 72 billion. One important thing is e-commerce crossed $1 trillion in India. ePay, PhonePay, whatever pay. And we saw in 2021 48.6 billion transactions, which is much larger than China at 18 billion and more than all the other economies put together. I mean, really, it's been a wonderful success story, UPI. All these directly impact packaging requirements. Now, why is India going to grow? I really don't know if how many of you really saw a very nice presentation by Deepak Bagla about 2-3 days back. It was a rage on the internet. I would like, I will send that link to you again, so please have a look. You will make, you will be doubly sure that India is going to grow. There's no two ways about it. Some of the things I listed out: diversification of supply chains from China, China plus one policy. There's no doubt we are going to replace China, no. But we might get 15 to 20% of things because everybody wants a plan B. We want not all our baskets in one, all our eggs in one basket, but in 2-3, so that we are better off. Rapid growth of exports, need for packaging, international standards, increasing awareness for clean food, drink, and pharma. Focus on sustainable packaging, ban on single plastics, use plastics, drive towards bio-based, paper-based packaging. Favorable demographics, increasing income levels, growing middle class. Can I? sorry. Government of India recognized the potential of this sector, but again, as I said, unfortunately we are not an industry yet. Hopefully our association will do something about it. Multiple policies released, single-use plastic ban, profit-linked PLI for many industries, adoption of national packaging incentive. So when we look at these numbers, and taking an average figure for all various agencies, whatever they put, looking at a 20% CAGR seems to be very, very fair. So in about 4 to 5 years, we will be 100% plus. That means all the capacity of the industry will go twice. So we seem to be in a good area. Now, that's the good part of the story. Now, what is that we have to worry about? Inflation, I mean, it's not only for us throughout the world, but it will have its effects. So we have to live with it. The war, which we thought should end in a week or 10 days' time, it's already celebrated its anniversary yesterday. So we really don't know what's happening there. Most important thing is never, never, never write off China. China is a big power. America still doesn't have 5G. They don't have the technology. China has already gone to 6G also. So technology-wise, and China has 200,000 postdoctoral students doing cutting-edge research. The number of patents filed by China is much more than all the world put together. So it's a great, one of the good things about China is their education system. They really put a lot of effort in educating their kids. That's where one of the things which we are failing, our education system is not as very good. Unfortunately, from 1962, we all feel that China is the enemy. But an enemy so powerful, sometimes I respect it. Yeah. In India. I would like you to remember this day, because today we are okay on power. But with this industrialization, the power consumption will grow very, very high. And we are going to be in deep trouble. While Narendra Modi ji always says green power is good during daytime. And peak load hours and industrial power, green will not do. It is either hydro or thermal or nuclear. We seem to have missed that boat there. So all of us will pay for it in the next 3, 4, 5 years. There will be acute power shortage. Now that we have the numbers and the growth story, what about technology? Worldwide, about 50% of the business is still with offset. New presses mostly bought by packaging printers with more and more units with inline finishing capability. Digital printing, of course, it's here to stay. We'll hear a lot more in the afternoon from Xerox, HP, and Canon. One of the most important things I would like all of you to think about is digital. One of the greatest advantages versus offset is that it can do variable data. And that's where money has to be made. Not trying to compete with offset. At 50 copies we are cheaper, at 100 copies we are cheaper. No. That's one of the things it can do, because it can print shorter numbers. But the main money to be made is when you can make variable data and really you can make a good margin out of that. Quality, of course, excellent. There were days when we were arguing that offset prints better than digital. Not anymore. They're as good or better sometimes. Neo market like photo books developed due to the availability of this technology. Like that, we should see what else can we develop. Now, as far as the digital output goes, as on last year, this is last year's numbers. And this is for the West. In India, we don't have these numbers. By 2024, it says 50% of value, print value, not volume, value output, will be digital for graphics. That means commercial printing as we see. 18% for publication and 7% for packaging. That 7% is 3% by volume. That means because of variable data, even though it's 3%, the value is 7% because we are getting more money out of it. This is for international markets, Western markets. So we need not worry, digital will take away market from offset. Still will be the main workhorse, offset. One thing which I would like to, this happened when we talked in 2000 when we were going into CTP. Before buying CTP, make sure your pre-press is very strong and you know how to do imposing, how to do that, so that the day you get the CTP, you can hit the ground running. So in case if you're looking at digital, make sure your pre-press is very strong and put that time in it initially and get ready before the machine comes. Packaging in India, cartons, leaflets, labels, rigid boxes, all growing at a very good pace. Leaflets and outserts is still an issue. We don't know how long it will be there. In case somebody puts a barcode and say you read it, then we are in trouble. Outlook. Pharma industry, currently valued at $49 billion, is the third largest in the world, expected to be 130 billion by 2030. Pharma exports 25 billion during last financial year and close to this year 27 billion. The outlook is extremely positive. We are on the growth path. But the point again, it comes that the brand owners, knowledge gap between printers and brand owners. This is where Mr. Santosh also said that we have to have the passion on the print and we have to explain the customer what is good for the customer. Because in 100 years, the customer will not know what we know about printing. We know printing and we have printing for breakfast, lunch and dinner. They do printing once in a way. So we have to not only be the suppliers, we have to be there. We must be their consultants. We should tell them what's right, what's wrong, what might be better. So they have to come and depend upon you more and more and think that you are a part of their team, not a supplier who is L1. So age-old practices, believe me, 5-ply, 3-ply. If this doesn't work, 5 bana do. If it doesn't work, 7 bana do. I mean, you do that, but you're really not really looking at, by improving the burst factor of that one, can I do a 3-ply? If by 3-ply you go to 5-ply, it's a national wastage. But do the right job. Then do the right, and these things we have to teach them. If you do this, the cost will come down, but you're doing a better job, then it makes a much, much better sense. And unfortunately, the marketing team is different, the purchase team is different, and purchase wants the cheapest price, and God knows what you will get for that price. So paper mills and printers have to do this continuing education of the customer, tell them what is better, how it is. For example, you're not looking at the strength of the board. You want only 390 GSM, but if the strength is better, 350 GSM, why not? So you should use it and save that kind of money. When I put in pharma, that takes care of cartons, labels and outserts and inserts. Then the next one is solid boards, like the one we just gave Mr. Santosh the trophy in the solid board box. And this market will go substantially. One of the good things which happened during the COVID is that previously for us, board means copper board, coming from Netherlands or Germany or somewhere, but it was made in India, in Delhi especially, Rhino, and we are very, very happy that we really don't have to depend on the imports, and India has been self-sufficient in that. especially in these times, because special size, special this one, and from Germany it takes 6 months, so it's not possible to do the job. Premium packaging, gifting synonymous with rigid board, and actually when I was a part of what I understood from Mr. Santosh's talk is the unboxing experience of the S23 or the foldable Samsung, and the quality and how it's mesmerized him, the packaging and all those things. So that, I think, is unboxing experience itself is a very, very big thing. So much so, today, actually, when we get a Samsung phone, new phone, we put the phone aside and then start admiring the box, and actually, we literally take it apart. Isne kaise kiya? How did he do this? I mean, we want to make sure, and one day we might want to go there, not yet, but we will. So that's a learning process we have to go through. So I mean, again, sales stock. The first time sale of any product is because of what's on the box. The repeat sales, what's in the box. If it's good, they will buy it again. But the first time, when you're on a shelf, when you're looking at it, you will pick it up only when you like it. Otherwise, you won't pick it up. So, and that's the reason why what's on the box and what's in the box, both are very important. The choice of seller than the e-commerce site. Your packaging is for some face creams and all those things, and we are doing the job because somebody was 2 rupees cheaper. The job was lost to somebody else, and it went to e-commerce site, Amazon, and 9 out of the 10 boxes, they failed. So the whole brand went for a 6. They had to come back to us and then again rebuild it. For 2 rupees, I think it's a very, very big price to pay. So we have to make sure, as I said, we must tell the customer that good quality and this one goes together, and their market is dependent on that. Effective plastic replacement. We are actually, government has banned it, I'm very happy. But are we ready with alternates? No, we are not ready with alternates. We are learning about it. Pulp trays are going to be very big. If any box you take, inside, when you open the box, there is a plastic. You have a toy, you have this one, or anywhere. So all this will be replaced by pulp, paper pulp, molding, and that is 100% recyclable. Things to focus on? Definitely, as I said, eco-friendly products and clear track of sustainability from cradle to grave. That means, where did this pulp come from? Is it a responsible forestry? From there to how it's being disposed finally. Is it being recycled or repulped or whatever it is? So this is very, very clear, this one we need. Track and trace solution for supply chain management. Extended color gamut will be very big for printing with short-run cartons. What I mean by this is that our basic system we print is 4 colors, CYMK. But unfortunate problem, when we are printing with CYMK, we are not in a position to match most of the Pantone colors. But when you go to the 7-color extended color gamut, you can match 80 to 85%. So, if you say 2,000 cartons or 3,000 cartons, and you're printing 5 cut colors or 4 cut colors, every time washing the machine, putting that 1 hour of machine time will go, and the cost of the carton will go up very high. But if we learn extended color gamut and print together, the cost becomes cheaper. The client also will have a much better pricing. This needs a lot of education, both for the printers and for the customers. But this is something which is going to happen. World population, 8.6 billion. I sincerely think we are already the world's largest population, or nearly there. Urbanization will continue. 43 megacities and population over 10 million. Demand for advertising, signage and packaging printing. The recession predicted in the West might have an impact, but India will still do okay because there are so many plus points. I sincerely think, especially after after all of you see the Deepak Bagla video, that you will understand that we are in a positive territory. Thank you so much, and wishing you all a great future.